We're back now with Kristin Alfheim, the Democratic candidate running for Senate District 19. Your time on Appleton City Council, has it been what you expected? What's it been like?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I went into it, a lot of people enter politics because they're mad about something or they have an issue. I didn't. I just knew that I was a good problem solver and I was a good listener. So I think it's been exactly as I expected it to be. I learn a lot. You have to pay attention. And I think there's so much about local politics that most people don't understand. There's misunderstandings in terms of budgets and what things are spent on. And if you spend some time on a county board or on a city council, you will understand how tight everything is run, how hard the cities and municipalities work to provide every service possible without any tax burden. It's so hard to do. So I think it was a wonderful opportunity to understand the inner workings of how truly the government runs, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the opportunity to be beneficial and to leave some lasting impact as we make some suggestions that make things better for the community.
So why did you decide to make the jump for Senate?
Because I'm tired of the nonsense, to be honest. I'm tired of the polar opposite conversations where no one seems to be in Madison talking to one another. I feel like politics is, you know, it's like a vehicle. If you have the politicians are the tires, then communication is the engine. And then knowledge is the gas that goes in it. And if we aren't having conversations, if we aren't actually talking to each other based on the information that we're getting from our constituents, there's no gas in the engine. We can't get down the road if we don't start listening to one another and actually working together to move forward. You know, I'll hear a lot of people say Madison's working fine. No. There are hundreds of bills that come up that are coming from constituents, from residents, that they're trying to get changed that aren't even getting to the committee level in Madison because, in essence, they don't want to pass them. That's not right. That's not by the people, for the people means we should be sharing the voice of all people. My job is to answer the phone and to listen, no matter who calls me. I don't care if they're extreme right or they're extreme left or they're center. Our job is to listen. So I'm here because I think I'm a rational person. I'm a moderate. I believe and I understand farm and rural and paper mill. I also understand taxes and upper middle class situations and real estate taxes. I'm a gun owner. I think we should be able to have a conversation, and 80% of us have more in common than the different. So I'm less worried about the edges. I want them to stop and start focusing on making change and ask all of the leadership in Madison to actually lead individually for the sake of their constituents. That's what I want to do. The Fox Valley is not blue and it's not red. It's purple. So we had better start talking as if we are purple, and that's what I want to do.
Let me quickly touch on some of your roles on City Council. You serve on the Human Resources and IT Committee as well as the Economic Development Committee.
Yeah.
What do you do on those committees?
Well, the economic development is my favorite, and I was asked to chair that this year, and I chose not to because the race is going on, but I love it because that's where we talk about how do we help our community. How do we need to drive revenue, we need to bring in things that make our economy solid, that people want to live here, that businesses want to grow here, that we can attract employees here. The Economic and Development Department in every municipality and county are crucial to the success of the businesses and the families both. They're crucial. So it's fun to listen about different ideas that we can do. What are we thinking of inside of the box and outside of the box to make our organizations, communities, companies, and families successful?
What do you point to as your accomplishments so far?
Well, we're in the middle of one, but so far, I would say getting the, from a climate standpoint, I think we have to start dealing with the climate issues. In Appleton, we took a task force, we created a plan with the cooperation of the city and this wonderful task force, and one of the results coming out of it, we have now someone in Appleton that is assigned to be the collaborator of all things, coordinator of all things climate, as well as a permanent advisory council. We're also working on, we just put a marijuana referendum on the ballot in November because I think people's voices matter. And the more we do to let people speak, it matters. The last thing I would say that we're working on right now is something that's going to be beneficial to the community in terms of labor and local workforce. And I think that it is the community's job to take care of the community first. And we're working on a program right now for that.
Candidate Kristin Alfheim, our guest this morning. We have much more to come with her, so please stay with us.